everyone, Happy New Year. Welcome back to the vlog. It's been a while, obviously. I think the last time I spoke to you I wasn't sure whether I was going to come back or not, but here we are. So I hope you all had a great festive period, whether Christmas is your celebration or not. I hope everybody had lots of nice food and some nice time with their families, loved ones, friends, whatever's your jam. I had a really nice Christmas with my family, and my partner's family and our friends. Lots and lots of food. And yeah, I'm excited for what the new year has to bring. So you will probably have seen lots and lots of these videos floating around. I feel like it is the time of year for these kinds of videos. But I mean, if you're watching this, then you've already decided to watch mine, so thanks for watching. Yeah, I guess I was going to do a sort of New Year reset type video. You know, I got mixed feelings on these kind of videos, like New Year resets, why do we wait until New Year to reset things? I guess for a lot of people it's a bit of motivation. A lot of people get really motivated for January. It's a new year, it's easy to kind of be like, oh, I'm going to do this new thing for a year, or I'm going to start this new thing that I've always wanted to do. This is the year, this year is going to be the year. It's easy to motivate and stuff. We don't have to do it at New Year. I've been kind of resetting on and off for the last sort of 6 months, I guess, since games. And yeah, this is another little bit of a reset. I mean, I've done a lot of this already. But yeah, I think a lot of people are looking at it this time of year, and a lot of people are really keen to get on with this time of year. So I'm going to talk you through how I usually do a reset. And this works as a January reset, or, any time. If you're somebody, say you're still in school or you're at university, then a good time to reset might be September, just before your academic year starts. I mean, nature has its own reset at the same sort of time. Spring is nature's complete reset, so anyway, it's New Year, lots of people are doing it, so if you want to reset, then hopefully this video can help you a little bit. The first thing we want to do when doing a reset is actually reflect on what's already happened. I've been doing a lot of reflecting, I guess, over the last 6 months around my sort of sporting career, I suppose, but also what's next for me, what are my next steps and things. But to do that, I really had to look back on what's been, what worked for me, what didn't work for me. It can be kind of useful to break up your life into little sections, make it easier to kind of think about things so you don't forget. So sometimes people will split it into a sort of triangle where you've got work, you've got life, and then you've got family on your triangle. But I mean, you can do work, family, hobbies, or you can do, if you don't really have family, you can split it into something else. You can do work, hobbies, friends. But yeah, I mean, triangle. Me personally, I kind of split it into 6 different things. So I've got health is always a big one for me. I've got family and friends. I kind of put those two together. I've got work, and then I also put in sport. So I kind of separate my sporting career from my I don't have one, but from my job or my other career, because I'm trying to balance 2 things. So that used to that work used to be education, uni or whatever. But yeah, it's my work that's not my sporting work, I suppose. And then I've got hobbies, and then I can't remember what my last one was. Was that 5? That might have been 6. Anyway, split it up into those different sections, and then I can have a look over the last year, in each of those sections, what's worked for me and what hasn't, and write that down on a list. Mood map it, mood board it, or mind map it, however kind of works for you. The next part, I guess, is looking around your projections. It's kind of we did the whole where have I been. The next bit, I guess, is where do I want to be. So that's your sort of classic vision board things. I've done a few vision boards before. I actually really like doing them. I want to do one for this year, but I actually don't have any space on my wall to hang it up. So I do them kind of digitally now. I just use Canva. And it's kind of easier as well because Canva's got all those stock images and things. You can just pull them out. I'm not sponsored, by the way. But yeah, I guess Canva can be really good for that kind of thing. And then I just set it as my background on my computer. So it's always there. You could set it as your background on your phone, things like that. So yeah, where do you want to be? I guess another way of looking at it, if you're not really a sort of vision board person, is kind of around what values do you want to have, I guess, and what values do you want to project. I mean, we've all got kind of our core values. I'm pretty sure if you're sports people, you've probably heard this multiple times. But if we know what our core values are, it helps us a lot more to either stay motivated or disciplined when we're not motivated. I guess I could go so into depth on values and stuff, but I guess if I was doing it briefly, if you don't know what your own values are or are not sure how to sort of vocalise what they might be, then you could pick somebody that you kind of look up to. So the first time I did like values and stuff, it was a sort of workshop. They kind of said like pick somebody who's like a role model. You could pick multiple people, but for me, like I was having trouble kind of getting up and going to training when I had to start training by myself. So it was kind of a like, well, Catherine Granger is somebody that I really look up to. I think she's an amazing athlete, and it's kind of a like, what would Catherine Granger do? And I was like, she's the kind of person who would get her ass out of bed and go to training whether she wanted to or not. And like that was then a value that I wanted to project. So it was a value I had, I just wasn't doing. So then when I was like stuck in the mornings, that became the value that I had to live by. So yeah, we've got reflections and then we've got projections. The next kind of thing you really want to do is goal setting. And again, I could talk for literally hours on goal setting, but I think I've talked about this before, about your sort of macro, meso and micro cycles and stuff. But yeah, I guess like if we're in January, we're probably looking at what are our year goals. So I guess if you're looking at your vision board or your projections or whatever, again, like I said, I split mine into about 6. And then looking at each one of those sections and like what have I got in goals in those sections. So fitness was my other section that I forgot about. So for example, like in fitness, I've got goals that I want to try and get back into running. One of my reflections from this year is that I didn't do enough exercise, and that's partly because of my health. I struggled a lot with like my tummy, my Crohn's, my hip, goodness knows what else. That's a different video. But it meant that I didn't do as much fitness as I wanted to, and it means that I don't feel as good as I want to feel. So one of my goals for this year is to try and get back into running, assuming my hip will let me, and do that. I've got another, what other goals have I got this year? I've got a personal project goal that's a secret, and I want to do better with nutrition. Next week's video is actually going to go into one of my sort of big things that I'm doing this year. But yeah, I've got like a bunch of goals like that. So you split it into your 5 or 6 different sections, however many you want. I would recommend keeping it to 6 or less, otherwise you just get really overwhelmed. But like family, for example, I only managed to go and visit my parents up in Inverness twice last year. So one of my goals is to do that more. Things like that. So write down your goals. I saw this as a tip the other day, it was really good. If you're somebody who does a vision board and you do it physically, if you have the picture, say it's a picture of a runner because you want to get into running, on the back of the picture, put your goals to do with running. And then when you pin it on the board, like your goals are there. And I was like, that's great, I love that. So that was quite cool. Otherwise, just write them down on a notebook or get a whiteboard or, I don't know, write them down, record them, whatever. Yeah, and then once you've got your year goals, you then, like, at the start of every month or at the end of the previous month, I suppose, you can split those down to, like, what are the steps I can take this month to work towards that goal. And then again, you can do that weekly, like, what are the steps I can take this week to work towards these goals? What are the steps I can take today that work towards that goal? I also want to make a quick note on, like, toxic positivity. It's okay to have days where you don't achieve goals towards bigger goals. I think a lot of the time it's like, if I haven't made progress towards my goal today, then I failed. That is not true. Sometimes you need a rest. Sometimes you need a reset day where you come and sit down and do things like this. Sometimes you just need to hang out with your friends, and that is perfectly okay to do. We do not have to be productive 365 days of the year. I actually think that would be nuts. So then chill with the toxic positivity. And that was me talking to myself as well as all of you. So yeah, I guess like once you've done all of that, you're kind of good to go. Your reset, I guess, is complete. One of the other things I like to do with the reset is to like deep clean everything. I know we talk about spring cleaning, and I probably will do a spring clean as well. But I took down my Christmas tree decorations this morning, and that's left like glitter everywhere and bits of trees. So, you know, I took all of the decorations down, I've put them away. I then like hoovered and mopped. I've done all my dishes. I made sure they're all clean. I have written myself a new gym program to start this week or next Monday. Yeah, and just like I've plumped all my pillows, I've hoovered everything, so everything is like tidy, put away, reset, because you know that whole thing about clean space, clean mind is very, very true in my case. So yeah, I think like reset your space, reset your brain, and then get to it. Yeah. I hope you enjoyed the vlog. I will be back for more. I know I say this every time I'm on this, but I really do want to try and start posting weekly videos. I've got one for next week already in the works, so please come back. If you want to get notified of when it's up, then you can subscribe and hit the bell. Then it'll give you a wee notification when my next video goes live. The next one's going to be kind of cool. I'm doing a new thing. I don't like the word diet, but I'm doing a interesting, cool experiment with my diet, and I'll tell you all about it next week. So yeah, until then, have fun. Remember to chill. And let's all be, you know, badasses this year. What did I hear? Somebody said, this is 2020 thrive, and I thought that was both terrible and great at the same time. So here's to 2020 thrive, and I'll see you all next week. Bye!